Welcome to On Crisis. I'm your host, Joanna Doven, and I have dealt with a lot of crisis shit for the past 15 years or so as press secretary for a big city mayor and in running my company, Primo Consultants. And I think we all need to know more about how to handle crisis management. In the age of fake news, political discord, lightning fast news cycles, and social media shaming, it's essential that your business has a plan in place to handle crisis communications. We're going to have some really cool people on our show talking about behind the scenes stories in city government, in corporations, employee scandals. Ultimately, we're going to bring on people that will share stories with you to help you inform your own strategies. I promise we're going to have fun. I'm so excited to have Allison Bentley on our podcast today on Crisis. Allison was a key executive at Zappos.com, worked there for about 10 years, and she now is in Pittsburgh working for a biotech startup company called Hemp Synergistics, where she is leading a line called Lily Rain, a line of really good CBD products geared towards females. So nice to have another female executive on the podcast, our first female executive. So we're going to talk about really what's happening in the CBD hemp industry, because there's a bit of a crisis happening when it comes to hemp, the market for it, the lack of FDA regulations, and then what I would like to say, people who become overnight experts and want to get product in the market because it's popular right now. So how do we inform people that they need to find a good, high quality CBD? Allie, thanks for coming on today.
Thank you so much, Joanna. I'm happy to be here.
So we do work together in full disclosure, but I have to say that one of the impetuses for me wanting you on the podcast was all of the news I read on a daily basis. I recently read about the tragic death of Tony Hsieh, saying that right? Mm-hmm. I don't want to, yeah. And it really made me think about all of the experiences that you have in working at a high level at Zappos.com, and really how lucky, your company is to have you there. Talk to me about what you did at Zappos.com.
Mm-hmm. So while at Zappos, I was there a little over 9.5 years. I held various roles, but my last role there was our director of our women's fashion division. And that encompassed our fashion footwear, women's apparel, handbags, jewelry, accessories. So it's it's an amazing job, an amazing company. And it was a tough decision to leave, but I knew it was the right time for me to take a next career move and gain more experience in a new and growing industry, which is why I joined Hemp Synergistics.
So CBD, for our audience, can you explain to them exactly what is CBD?
Yes. So CBD is a cannabinoid from the hemp plant. And there's a big difference between the hemp and marijuana. They are two different plants. The main point of difference is the level of THC. And in marijuana, it is greater than 0.3%, much greater. And in the hemp plant, it naturally has a lower THC content, and legally it has to be below 0.3% THC. So that's the main difference between hemp and marijuana that a lot of people do not know, and that hemp is legal. And within the hemp plant, there are many different cannabinoids, and one of those is CBD, which a lot of people are very aware of what the ingredient is inside the hemp plant. And I think we're using the CBD ingredient to formulate other ingredients to incorporate them into products as well as consumer products.
So talking about products, so you came from a place where you were really on top of the world and the digital retail space. I mean, what Zappos did was transform digital retail. I mean, I think it, really before Amazon hit its stride, Zappos hit its stride first until it was, acquired by Amazon, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were, Zappos was created and founded in 1999. So it was the epitome of the dot-com boost.
And the idea of how to bring a product to market and get people to buy it online was relatively new.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, the e-commerce was just beginning. And, when Zappos started, people wouldn't have dreamed about buying shoes online. You thought you had to go to the store to try them on to make sure they fit, you had the right size. And so they were definitely a leader especially in the footwear industry, for providing customers with another option to buy their footwear.
Right. And then transitioned, then, they became the powerhouse. And now it's like, okay, what else can we sell? Can we sell handbags and other things? And that's where you came into play, because your role was to find really good product that your customer would want, right?
Yep. Yeah. So we were, as the director over women's fashion, we wanted to serve our customers with the best assortment and quality in women's fashion wear.
Quality, that's tough to find these days. Yeah. Speaking as a female, it's really tough. Allie, you have 2 kids, right? How old are your kids?
5 and almost 2.
I just had okay, we're around the same age. Just had a holiday photo shoot with the kids. And I was looking for a dress for my toddler and just something cute. And I went to Carter's because, usually I do things online, but I was last minute, too last minute. And I could not believe, I'm sorry, Carter's, if you're listening, but the quality and what they were charging for this dress. It was so thin. It was a $40 dress for a 2-year-old.
Oh, God.
And horrible quality. And it's just so frustrating as a consumer when your quality isn't great. And I think now more than ever, because there's so much out there, we have to rely on somebody that, companies that are really going to care about quality. Which is a good transition to a crisis that's happening in the industry right now. And that is consumers don't really know what they're getting when they buy CBD. Tell me why.
Correct. And that's because it's not regulated right now. And anyone could go start their own CBD brand. You go online, so search CBD products to white label, and you could go out, start Joanna CBD, and tomorrow you could have your own product. And I think that is why there's been a boom in the industry and why people say the market is flooded. It's because it's so accessible to create a brand that contains CBD products. What is not as accessible and easy is to create quality CBD products that are also following, the nutraceutical and supplement guidelines that we at Hemp Synergistics follow to ensure whenever the regulation does come, we are ready for it. And we're actually excited for that regulation to happen because we think it's really going to help legitimize this industry and bring trust into the products that consumers want to know what they're ingesting or what they're applying to their bodies. And we want to be very forthcoming on what we're providing those customers.
Got it. So in crisis community, this is really the industry is in somewhat of a crisis because there's so much product out there and there's a lack of regulation on these products. And so now it's up to you, right? As head of, VP of marketing, you do a lot there. You do everything there, right? But you're running the Lily Rain product line right now. But the onus now is on these good companies, and there's only a few of them, right, to communicate and cut through the noise. That crisis of how do we get people to pay attention that what we're doing is focused on quality and not just the fluff of the packaging, although we know that packaging matters. So let's talk about that. What differentiates, let's start with where you get your hemp, and sort of why you're different than something I could pick up at, let's say, Sheetz.
Right. So where we get our hemp, first question is we work with a variety of vetted local growers in the Pennsylvania region, as well as we have a partnership with one of our largest organic farmers out of California. So we have a consistent supply of high quality hemp that we know from trusted sources. So that's, supply is very important, but we at Hemp Synergistics pride ourselves on quality, science, and solutions. And so those are really the three pillars in everything we do, making sure there's science behind it, making sure that it's solving a solution, and making sure it's high quality. So anything we produce always has to go through those three pillars.
Let's talk about the science. So we know that the quality is, you're taking it from, one of the world's largest organic farms, the hemp that is, which is remarkable just to be able to get that product. And I believe you're one of their exclusive extractors too. So that says something.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
I'm not sure if we can name them, but look it up, world's largest organic farm, and you'll find out who it is. So now you get the raw plant. Now,
yes.
I know this because I've worked with biotech companies before. Just because you're taking something that's high quality, right, doesn't mean your body's going to absorb it, because we have digestive enzymes that break down food and break down molecules, before it goes into the intestines. So talk to me about the science. How are you guys making better CBD products?
So we're looking at where the solutions need to be in this industry. And I think, so first off, we found that there was a problem with the amount of THC, non-compliant THC in a lot of products, which is why we deal with all full and broad spectrum. Full spectrum means it is at that 0.3% THC level or below, and broad spectrum means it's non-detectable levels of THC. So consumers can feel comfortable consuming our products and not having to worry about possibly failing a drug test. So I think that was one of the first problems we saw.
Let me pause you there, because I don't think that our audience understands this.
Yeah.
If you just simply Google it, I think the best thing to Google would be grandma arrested for marijuana in Disney. Okay. that what is happening right now, and it's happening less, I think, because let's face it, look, 1/3 of all states have approved recreational marijuana use, right? So the culture is changing, but law enforcement can still arrest you if you're in possession, right? So the thing is, you might think you're smoking hemp or taking a tincture that just has CBD in it, when in fact it's not regulated, and there are bad producers out there that are putting THC in CBD that's above the 0.3% legal limit, and there have been people jailed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's scary.
Yeah, and I think it also goes back to the consumer trust, is them not knowing what's in the product that they're consuming or applying on their body. So we always want to be very forthcoming. All our products and our ingredients that contain CBD have third-party lab tests that support the THC content as well as the CBD content.
Yeah, I mean, that's really important to have those third-party lab tests. And sorry, I'm getting my charger. This is the real deal when you're doing a podcast from your home office. There's always something. No, totally. So the third-party testing. So talk to us about what it's testing for. So it's the THC level. Anything else?
You of course, you can do full panel testing to make sure, which we do for all of our ingredients, make sure the lead levels, the microbial, I mean, there's a variety of different lab reports you can do. It's a little out of my scope, but I kind of stay out of the lab operations and the science side of the business. I focus on, what I do now. But we definitely make sure that we are full transparency about what is in our ingredients and products.
So you come from Zappos, right? You're at a very high level, and I understand that you worked very closely with the executive team, including the CEO, leading women's fashion at Zappos. That's an incredible position at one of the most amazing companies. And now you're handed the keys, and basically you have the best. I mean, I've done all my reading on this. I've had to, because you're a client, but you guys have the best CBD in the market, right? And now so then you have the challenge and really the opportunity of, okay, create our CBD product line for the female demographic.
Yeah, I think too, to back up a little bit, we So at Hemp Synergistics, we, like I said, the quality scientific solutions, but we have 3 pillars within our company that does separate us from other hemp and CBD, not only brands, but corporations out there. So we do have the whole full lab operations where we work with growers and farmers to take their hemp crop and turn it into usable CBD oil, or we created our own patent pending ingredients which powderize the hemp oil so you can use it in a capsule formulation for supplements. You could also bake with it. You can create variety of edibles with our ingredients. So that's more of the lab operations, and also the ingredients that we offer under the Hemp Synergistics brand. And then we have the branded solutions as well as the product solutions. So internally we saw that there was a big void in the market for high quality consumer goods. And so we created the 2 brands, Pure Synergistics and Lily Rain, to focus on those voids in the marketplace to bring our product formulations in-house. We do the product formulations in-house to bring them to market. And I think that's another big point of difference is we don't buy white label products and just put our brand name on it. We do all our formulations in-house. We supply the hemp and CBD that are incorporated into the products. And then we also work with a variety of different other brands or clients that are looking to incorporate CBD into their product assortment as well. So I think it's not that we're just a brand, which a lot of other CBD branded products out there, it's like, that's it, that's their brand. We have so many different areas of our business that we can offer solutions to really improve this industry and move it forward, because that's what we do want, is we want more regulation. We want consumers to trust the products that they're consuming. Mm-hmm. And understand the benefits that CBD can offer somebody. I mean, and that's what really made me join this company, is the opportunity to improve people's lives through this ingredient and through this plant. I think it's just the beginning of what we've tapped into, and the testimonials. I know you take our hemp capsules and you say you'll never not take them, and we hear those testimonials every single day. And there's still a vast majority of the population mm-hmm. that is still very skeptical of this ingredient and these products. And so that's what I think we're helping to do, is change that perception.
No better way to change it than to have people communicate their real life experiences. I mean, I can tell you, I suffer from an autoimmune disease, and I would say if 1 to 10, 10 being somebody who knows their wellness, like top of the shop, reads wellness news, knows their wellness, 0 being like no one, like the typical Yinzer. Sorry, Pittsburgh. I'm probably like an 8, right? Yeah. And I was looking for CBD to take, but I didn't know where to go for it, and I wasn't going to buy it at the gas station. Right. Whole Foods isn't carrying it, at least around here, and that's where I typically would shop. Mm-hmm. And I can tell you that it's completely changed my life. My body pain is like half of what it was, if not more. And it's one part of wellness, right? It's not just mm-hmm. take CBD and it's a miracle cure. It's one key ingredient for my own wellness. And I know where the product's coming from. And mm-hmm. So there's, I'm going to make that investment. Mm-hmm. It's the trust.
Right. And so go ahead.
But let's talk about, because we don't have tons of time, and I really want to get into some cool things here. Lily Rain. So you developed a product line specifically. Now we know there's other product lines within Hemp Synergistics, but the one that you developed for the female demographic, for female executives like myself or my mom, right? Or even my daughter, because there's CBD bath bombs. Talk to me about how, you're the best thinking at Zappos when it comes to customer service, when it comes to quality, when it comes to, merchandising. How did you take all that you learned and just sort of, you had, and as like a sponge to sort of wring it out onto this line called Lily Rain?
Yeah, I think all your experiences and all my experiences I've had throughout my career definitely grow upon each other. And I always take every opportunity as a learning opportunity, whether it was a good or bad, but whatever it is, you always learn from it. And my time at Zappos was amazing. And I've told you before, I have nothing but amazing things to say about the company and the people that work there. But I think one thing it really did is, and why I even joined Zappos 9+ years ago, is because customer service was so important to their culture. And they always said, we're a customer service company that just happens to sell shoes and handbags and clothes. And so that's what made me join Zappos in the beginning. And even when I left back in March, that was still very much an important piece of the business. So I think that's something I've always has been a common thread throughout my entire career.
So, but like, let's give the audience an example of really how important customer service was. Like, tell us a story.
At Zappos?
Like, did you have to answer phones? I mean, I read something in the Wall Street Journal where that, the late Tony, the impeccable CEO, that he would have his staff answering customer service calls, and it didn't, the customer service wasn't outsourced to India, right? It happened on site.
Yeah.
And that you would stay on the phone with the customer for however long it took to make them feel good. Did that really happen?
Those are all true stories. And every holiday season, we were all encouraged to jump on the phones and answer, our customers' questions, which we all looked forward to doing because it was our way of speaking, having that direct, especially on the merchandising side, having that direct communication with your customers firsthand. So that was so valuable. And
wait, time out. So you're the head of fashion and you're taking customer service calls.
Oh yeah, everyone did. Yeah, everyone.
That's insane to me. I think it's really cool, but that's definitely customer service, right?
Yeah. And so I think I definitely, at Hemp Synergistics, overseeing our sales, merchandising, and marketing efforts, making sure that customer service is also a common denominator throughout our company, and all the amazing partners we have. We truly do view them as partnerships. It's not us working for somebody or someone working for us. We all truly feel like we're invested in improving this industry and offering solutions. So I think that's always something that I'll take in throughout my career, is the importance of customer service and, treating people with respect. And at the end of the day, we're all people, and especially this year, 2020, we're all dealing with a lot on our plate, and especially as both as working moms, and we're all dealt with challenges. And so at the end of the day, I think we need to remember we're all people and human beings, and treating people with respect, I think, is very important.
Speaking of the 2020 crisis, and I want to talk about Lily Rain, and let's go through the products there too. But I just want to give one example of when we had we placed a story for you guys in a regional newspaper, in a major regional nursepaper, and a doctor saw it and reached out and said, I want to surprise the females on my staff, the nurses, my admins, things like that, with your female line with Lily Rain. And I found this out, that you personally got in touch with this doctor, and you gave him a steep discount, which we won't advertise that. But it's just that, you could have easily forwarded the email to fulfillment, but you took it as a hands-on opportunity to build a relationship.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think those relationships, especially, we are still a startup company, been around 2 years, but still, building those relationships early on in your business is so important, and making sure you leave a positive, lasting impression on people. I was happy to partner with a local doctor to provide local nurses with our Lily Rain product. I mean, there's nothing more fulfilling than that. And so absolutely, I'm packaging gift bags and going to get those shipped off to him actually tomorrow.
I love it.
I'm very happy.
So Lily Rain, let's talk about, so how did you decide what products would be in the line?
Yes.
You can go through the products too.
Yeah, I think, so when we started conceptualizing the brands that we wanted to create under Hemp Synergistics umbrella, one was very clear. We wanted to make all natural, maximum strength CBD brand, and that is Pure Synergistics, which is very, I would say, intentional formulations to achieve maximum strength and formulations. Anyway, sorry, that was not a very good description.
No, I can jump in there because I use that too. I use the salve. And I broke my foot. My friends know this because I keep them, like, my foot was broken. Broke my foot about a month and a half ago, and I use this very concentrated CBD salve, and I rub it on my foot every night, and it's not like I did a beta test to know if it made a difference, but I can tell you I'm walking. So
Yeah,
but it's highly concentrated, right?
Yeah, and that was the premise and thought behind Pure Synergistics. It's for severe pain management. Our hemp capsules are under our Pure Synergistics line, and we have people that are weaning off opioids after taking our hemp capsules. So Pure Synergistics is definitely maximum strength. But we also, through our consumer research and the CBD industry research, we found over 50% of the current CBD consumers and projected CBD users are female, 57%. And so that was kind of eye-opening to all of us. And when we did market research, yes, there's plenty of CBD brands out there. We're not saying there's not. But there wasn't, like you and myself, I never even consumed CBD before starting at this company because I didn't know what or how or, what was this? And so I think there was a lack of education around CBD products, how much to take, what is this? Is it a drug? Is it not? Is it marijuana? So I think the premise behind Lily Rain, which stands for pure flower in German, so it does have some meaning. And our slogan is pure and simple hemp therapy. And that is kind of the gist of the brand. We want it to be very simple, easy to understand, a great entry point into CBD. It is still effective formula dosages for CBD, so I don't want anyone to think it's not effective. But it's just a great entry point for general wellness. We formulated our products mostly the starting assortment on topicals. So we have a body butter, a hand soap, a bath bomb, and then because the topicals are a little bit more safer entry for people that are maybe a little unsure of consuming CBD. But and the topicals do help with pain, inflammation, redness, soreness, joint pain, but we also have ingestibles in our CBD drops, which is an oil tincture, which I get all the questions all the time, like, what do I do with this? Do I put this on my body? Do I put it in my mouth? Do I put it in my tongue? And so I think too, educating the consumer how to use these products is really important. In our CBD drops, you can put it directly under your tongue daily. You can put it in a smoothie, you can put it in your tea, and we formulated with elderberry for additional immune support. So all the products, and you can see as I'm speaking about them, they all have meaning behind them, and we're formulated with additional ingredients. Our bath bomb was formulated with lavender to help relax with 200 milligrams of CBD. We have customers that use our bath bomb at night and they say they slept 8 hours. Just helps with relaxation, general wellness. After using CBD for the past almost 10 months now, I will never use it. And it's part of my daily routine. And that's what we want Lily Rain to be. It's just part of your routine. You don't think about it. You experience the benefits over time. I can say my stress and anxiety levels have been much more manageable this year using our CBD, as well as I've been getting a good night's sleep, even with everything going on. So, I've experienced the benefits firsthand through testimonials of friends and family that have now incorporated it in their daily lives. I think that's what gives me motivation for the potential in this industry.
Yes. It's everything you're saying is so spot on. I think a big flaw in the way our government's communicating with the public right now about the COVID-19 pandemic is that no one's talking about wellness. Mm-hmm. They're just saying isolate, avoid, immunize is coming. But there's no talk about, okay, prepare your immune system and your body as much as you can right now for if you do get it. Yeah. And I know elderberry is something that I'm reading a lot about that has great immunity benefits. Mm-hmm. CBD was actually in a university research study, the cannabinoids can reduce lung inflammation in COVID-19 patients, which Absolutely. That's and I tell you what I'm telling my, family and my loved ones, friends. In fact, I'm going on a small girls trip to Florida with my aunt this weekend, and she has not been around anybody since COVID, but so we're talking almost a year.
Wow.
But she's almost 70 and she can't do it. And I said, listen, here's what you're going to take. You're going to take CBD every day. You're going to take elderberry. You're going to take vitamin C. I have around D3. Anyways,
vitamin D,
a slew of good things. And and then we're going to get some sunshine, and we're going to live our life, and we're going to focus on our wellness. Of course, we're going to wear masks, we're going to be safe, but the whole wellness conversation, I think, if there's any silver lining with the COVID epidemic, I think for some people, it's that I need to prepare my body for something that could happen to it. Whether it could be cancer, it could be, but there is power to prevention. So your CBD does have elderberry in it. I know that the Pure Synergistics line CBD tincture has vitamin D, D3 in it. So you guys are thinking full scale. And then you have, I believe one of your board members is a renowned, talk to me about your board. So you have a scientific advisory board that's guiding a lot of the science.
Absolutely. And I think to your point of, we're not just creating another oil or another CBD product. We're trying to, for each of our products, to really have a point of difference. And, within formulating our CBD drops with elderberry for lily, rain, and on Pure Synergistics, fortifying them with vitamin D. So you're getting 100% of your daily vitamin D value along with 100 milligrams of CBD per serving. So these are just kind of the thoughtfulness we do put behind every single product we produce. And in addition, we partner with people that are aiding in the research and moving this industry forward, like Dr. Babak Baban. We partnered with him to bring to market Cannabix, which is the patent pending probiotic and CBD wellness water, all natural flavors and ingredients. And he is leading research studies that have been cited by the World Health Organization to promote CBD as a potential solution for lung inflammation. And severe lung inflammation obviously happens in the severe COVID patients. So, I think not him as a great example of, he's an amazing partner to Hemp Synergistics. He's an amazing person as well, and doctor and physician, moving this industry, helping to move this industry forward by leading research studies that support the benefits of CBD. Because I think the big thing, because CBD is not regulated by FDA, you cannot make claims about this drug, and we're very aware of that, and we follow, the guidance of the FDA, and we're not saying CBD is going to cure anything, but we're saying try it. It's definitely safe. We're saying it's safe enough to try, and we're not making any claims, but we're saying the proof is in the product, and we're providing quality product for our customers to try, knowing that more regulation is going to come, and every large company that we speak to, or any officials we speak to, I could say executives, everyone says it's not if, it's when. And if you have people that have experienced the benefits of CBD themselves, unanimously everyone says absolutely, it's not if, it's when. And we're just waiting for that when to happen, because we know it's going to, and we're just setting ourselves up to be ready.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good, you mentioned point of difference, because there is I would say, because anybody can produce it quickly and market it online, there's a bit of a go-to-market, crisis, right? Because you have to either spend millions of dollars to get it in front of people, right? Or really grow it behind the scenes by communicating the quality. And I know you're doing that and there's so many other product lines that we haven't gotten to today. We'll have to have the co-founder on sometime, Russ Sosimo, who's very much a visionary leader. But one thing that is important with any strategy, when something's coming, right, is to prepare for the inevitable, right? And prepare your operations for the inevitable, prepare your communications for the inevitable. And that inevitable is that the FDA is going to say something soon. And from what I understand, you guys are making your formulations with dosages that you believe are going to be FDA compliant once they release their rules. Because on staff, you have people on staff that have worked with these agencies for decades. And they might not have direct insider information, but they have knowledge as to how the bureaucracy works.
Yeah, and I think it's not just our gut feeling, it's based on research. And the New York State Health Department actually announced about a month ago now their own, regulations for CBD consumables and edibles. And we are following that because we think, New York State is a very large state of population. And we think many other states are going to follow suit. And that's 25 milligrams of CBD per consumable. It cannot be marketed or targeted to children, which we agree with, and we're following suit of that.
I don't agree with that, just for the record. But okay. You have toddlers, right?
What?
You have a toddler, so.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, I feel you. So yeah, so I think we're constantly every single day, researching this industry and making sure we're staying up to date on the latest trends as well as regulations. And we're excited for the day, the FDA, makes more decisions on the regulation of hemp-derived CBD. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, Allie, I want to thank you for your time. I think we could talk for longer, but I think it's been about an hour. And I'm really looking forward to watching your brands grow. In particular, I'm biased for Lily Rain because I just one quick plug is that the people who have consumed CBD products, right, know that the hemp plant can have a very bitter taste. I mean, it can taste gross. Yeah. But what your scientists have done with adding MCT oil to it and the elderberry is like I could drink the oil, but I know. I mean, it probably would be good for me if I did, but it's a little pricey. I mean, but you're getting what you pay for. It's good stuff. So
right. No, thank you for having us on. And yeah, I think reach out to anyone at our company or visit our websites for our brands, and we're excited to see where this industry goes in the next year and on.
Tell us the website and spell it out for us, please. Lily Rain.
Lily Rain, it's LILYREIN.com.
Perfect. Easy to remember. Thanks, Allie.
Thank you so much, Joanna.
Have a great rest of your day.
Bye-bye.